We're now joined by retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General David Deptula. He served as the Chief of Air Force Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance from 2006 to 2010 and is currently the Dean of the Mitchell Institute for Aerospace Studies. General, it's good to see you once again. Since we last spoke to you on Wednesday, there have been all these, several attempted attacks on U.S. military personnel just in the last few days alone, some successful, others not. How should President Biden respond to these attempts to kill our own service members who are abroad right now?
Well, Markie, good morning. The tactical level answer really is through proportional response against the perpetrators of these attacks. Let me give you an example. A U.S. F-16 fighter jet recently shot down a Turkish drone that was threatening our troops in Syria. So that's the kind of immediate response that needs to be taken. But from a strategic perspective, what's at play here is that peace is only assured by strength, and the capacity of the United States to deter aggression is significantly eroded over the past 30 years. I'll give you a quick example.
Sure.
Did you know today that our Air Force is the oldest, the smallest, and the least ready in its 76-year history? The youngest B-52 bomber is over 62 years old. We're flying trainers that are over 50 years old and fighters over 40. So today, the U.S. military struggles to meet demands in one theater, let alone four. And by that, I mean defending our own homeland, what's going on in Europe, the Pacific, and now a hot war in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So
I think that'll surprise a lot of people. Yeah, I think a lot of Americans will be surprised by the facts that you just stated. Speaking of the military, sir, I mean, going back to last night, I'm curious what you thought of the president's address when he spoke to the country and essentially the world last night. President Biden made no mention of the attacks on our military. But if the goal is to get Americans on board with giving, billions in aid to Israel, to Ukraine, why not mention that our own troops are coming under fire?
Well, Markie, that's a good question, and it's more appropriately answered by the White House. But we defend our deployed forces for sure. But the real point here is if Ukraine and Israel are not supported, and as a result, they fail, the United States and Europe will be engaged in a full-up war shortly thereafter. So empowering our allies who have existential interests in indigenous knowledge in the regions or of the regions involved is really the smartest approach.
Yeah. And we know that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned of a long war and road ahead. The IDF experts that we've talked to this morning have said they're prepared to fight for as long as it takes. I know this is not the last time we'll have you on, Lieutenant General David Deptula. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.